Hello and welcome to Soup Crafts. I am Soup, and today we're going to be opening day 12 of our 12 days of Christmas. This is it. The box is empty. All right, let's see what we get to play with for our 12th night celebration. It's a stencil set. I'm actually a very big fan of stencils, so this looks like a flower set. It's called Magnificent Magnolias. All right, well, I'm going to think on this for a while, and when I come back, we'll make a project. I'm back with a project for our Magnificent Magnolia stencils. Today, we're going to try some watercolor. I've covered my work surface with some scratch paper, and I'm going to spray my stencils with some pixie spray. I have not used this before, so hopefully this won't be a terrible mistake and get everything all sticky, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I've got a piece of watercolor paper here that I got from Spellbinders, cut to 5.5 by 5.5. And I've got my stencil number 1 sprayed with pixie spray on the back. I'm first going to wet my stencil or my paper down, so I don't know if the stencil will stick to it or not. We're going to find out together. Just going to give that a few sprays. Okay, now I've got a watercolor brush that I got in a Simon Says stamp card kit. And I've got a Distress watercolor pencil in the color of Faded Jeans. This is from set number 3. And I am just going to pull some color off of here and I'm going to start from the top. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming. We've reached the final gift, and the drummers provide the grand rhythmic finale. Whenever I feel like I need a little more water, I just give this a little squeeze. In the hidden theology theory, these 12 drummers represent the 12 points of doctrine in the Apostles' Creed. Just as a drum provides the essential heartbeat for a band, these 12 points were considered the heartbeat of the faith, the steady rhythm that kept the community together, even in secret. If you find these Day 12 facts interesting or find inspiration in this project, please let me know by tapping that thumbs up icon. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm going to run this under the heat gun. I'm going to help this dry a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put on stencil number 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and use one of my plates as well. Okay, now I'm going to use Chipped Sapphire, and that is from set number 4. The secular theories suggest the 12 drummers drumming likely represent the high-status civic messengers of the 18th century, or a full company of military signalers marking a return to order after the holiday misrule. Alternatively, from a structural perspective, they may have simply been added as a loud, rhythmic mnemonic device to help players navigate the final, most difficult round of the original Forfeits game. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a little while. Okay, now on to stencil number 3. I'm using a different pen for this one. This watercolor pen I got, I believe, at the dollar store, and they came 3 to a pack. But I want to fill this one up first, so it opens up, kind of turn it the opposite direction, and then I have this spray bottle that I just keep distilled water in. I'm using distilled water in my paintbrush. And I have a dropper, and I just use a dropper to fill this up. Okay, now I'm using Shabby Shutters, which came from set 4. I might not have gotten enough of the pixie spray on there. Again, I don't know how that stuff works, but I do want to wet my watercolor paper down again. Whether symbolizing municipal prestige or serving as a memory aid, the drummers provide a percussive grand finale that transitions the season from festive chaos back to daily discipline. If you're enjoying this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe so you can always find me in your subscription list. Okay, once again, I'm going to let this dry for just a little bit. I guess I'm going to paint a little bit more on it first. Okay, now I'm going to let it dry. Okay, now I'm going to line up stencil number 4. For stencil number 4, I'm using Peeled Paint, which was from set number 1. The 12th day falls on January 5th, known historically as Twelfth Night. This is the literal bridge between the 12 days of feasting and the Feast of Epiphany on January 6th. While we often think the holiday ends on the 25th, for centuries, January 5th was actually the peak of the party. Okay, now I'll let this one dry for about 5 minutes and then I'll dry it with the blow dryer and I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to put stencil 1 back on. I'm going to take my number 1 micron pen and I am just going to use the stencil. It was the final hurrah before the decorations came down and the world returned to the cold reality of winter. My number 1 micron pen isn't working very well, so I'm going to switch to my number 3. It was the night to say goodbye to the old year and fully embrace the new one. Twelfth Night was historically a night of misrule. In medieval and Tudor England, social roles were completely flipped. A lord of misrule was appointed to lead the antics, and the peasantry often took on the roles of the nobility. Okay, I think I got it all. Now I'm just going to take stencil number 3 and do the same thing. Line it up and trace around. Keep scribbling off to the side because it seems that the pen picks up some of the watercolor paint and then it doesn't work as well. So scribbling on that paper off to the side kind of cleans off the tip of the pen and then it starts to work better again. It was a time of joyous chaos, masks, and mummers' plays. The drummers represent this boisterous energy, the loud, vibrant sound of a world turned upside down for one final night of revelry. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with one final paint color. This is Antique Linen, and it is from set number 2. And I'm first maybe going to try to clean this up just a little bit. We'll see if that works out for me. I'm going to take a paper towel here and make sure my brush is cleaned off so it's just water coming out. And then I've got this little spot down here, and I'm just going to brush that away and blot it up. And then I've got a little bit here that I'd like to clean up. Make sure my brush is clean again. It doesn't do a perfect job, but it's good. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, this is what I have. I'm going to just try to straighten this up just a little bit by running it under my bone folder. Okay, that's a little bit better. There we go. This way just a little bit, and this way just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to take the antique linen with plenty of water in my brush, and I'm just going to go off the edges here. The centerpiece of the Twelfth Night feast was the king's cake. A dried bean and a pea were hidden inside. Whoever found the bean was crowned king for the night, and the finder of the pea became the queen. I keep adding water because I just want this to be a light wash. I don't want this to be very saturated with color. Even if a servant found the bean, the master of the house had to obey their royal commands. It was the ultimate way to end the 12 days with a bit of community and laughter, ensuring everyone, no matter their status, felt like royalty. Okay, I think that does it. Okay, now we're going to put it all together. I have pre-stamped my inside for my card, my inside panel. Tell me in the comments, if you found the bean in the king's cake and were crowned the Lord of Misrule tonight, what is the very first royal decree you would make for your household? I'd decree that every Monday is a mandatory craft from home day. Now I'll glue on the front panel. If you've enjoyed these Day 12 facts and this blue Magnolia watercolor technique, please let me know by tapping that thumbs up icon. And if you're interested in seeing more of my content, consider subscribing so you can always find me in your subscription list. I cut out an extra layer for the happy birthday. Okay, let's glue this on. I'm just going to put it right in the center there. I'll try to get it straight. I think that's pretty straight. Is it centered? Maybe over this way just a little bit. Okay, so that's our card for today. Happy birthday. May your special day be as wonderful as you are. What do you think? Do you like this kind of little bit of a messier style of card or not so much? Here's the test card that I made. I don't hate them. Thanks for watching. Bye.